Okay, I have the unit running right now. I took the deionization cartridge out to show you a few things on here. First, this is a pressure gauge. Right now, I don't know if you can see it, it's showing about 40 psi. This is in the middle of the day right now. Typically I run this unit at night and we get right about 50 psi in the middle of the night when none of the neighbors are using water and we're not using water or anything like that. Some people use these to gauge when these filters are clogged. I really haven't noticed any difference. Even when this filter is completely brown and clogged up and needs to be replaced, I still get about the same PSI rating from it. I purchased this as an add-on. It was maybe 10 bucks or so. If I had to do it again, I probably wouldn't because I don't really notice anything from it. This second meter here is a TDS meter. It's an inline one. You have one probe that goes on to the feed line and the second probe that comes out on your production water line after all your filtration. The reason I took the deionization out is you can test the how well your water is working, your membrane is working by this. It has two settings. One is the in setting, which shows right now we are about 125 parts per million. It's testing from this right now. This is the raw water coming right from our tap. So it goes in through all this, goes through the reverse osmosis membrane. I switch it over to the out, which is showing right now about 4 parts per million. So it's showing that our membrane is working about as efficiently as it can. If this was much higher than that, then I would assume that my reverse osmosis membrane was shot. But as it's running right now, it's about where I expect it to be with the 98% rejection rate. I'll turn this off here in a second and put the deionization back in and take another reading, and hopefully it'll show that we're getting 0 TDS water, which is what we want with a unit like this. So give me a minute and I'll be right back. Okay, so now we're running again with the deionization cartridge back in, and we're showing approximately 0 parts per million. It's bounced around between 0 and 1. Might be a little bit of the old water mixed in there, but it's about as pure as you're going to get, and that's what you're looking for from a RO filter with deionization on there. As low parts per million as you can. This is an old cartridge. You can tell this is a color changing deionization in there. You can tell the difference in the color between these two. This is exhausted. But I wanted to show you that most of these are refillable. You just unscrew this, remove this filter sponge in here, and you can see the little beads that are on here. Oh, I forgot to turn my light on. Might help. You can see the little beads that are in here. You can dump those out, and you can buy a replacement deionization. This is in a vacuum sealed bag. You want to make sure that if you do buy deionization beads that they do come vacuum sealed, or at least sealed in some way, because if they're exposed to air, CO2, the beads will absorb CO2, and you're going to lose a lot of the capacity to remove ions from the water, which is the whole point of using this. So you would cut this open and jam pack it in here as tight as you can get it, and press the cap back on. You want to make sure that it's as tight as you can get it. If they're loose in there, which they, over time, as you use it, they will loosen up. But if it's loose, then water can pass by these beads, and it won't be nearly as effective. It's called channeling. A lot of the less expensive reverse osmosis deionization units, you'll see a small canister that's up on top. You really want to avoid those as you can. If you have one, you can remove that and get an add-on unit like this. These usually are about $30 online or from your local fish store. The ones that sit on top here, like I said, the beads will shrink and the water will be allowed to flow over top of the beads and pretty much bypass the beads altogether, so it's almost useless, like you're not even using it. You want something that's vertical like this. The water comes in and is forced up through the bottom, so it's forced to go past all of the deionization beads in there. So that's about all I have right now. Hopefully this sheds a little bit of light on how reverse osmosis units work and some things to look for when if you're out in the market for them or replacing your components. Any questions, feel free to ask.